In October 1974, George Foreman fought Muhammad Ali in Kinshasa, Zaire, for the world heavyweight title. At 32, Ali was deemed to be long past his best. Foreman, 8 years younger and undefeated, was the overwhelming favorite. But what followed saw the sport of boxing reach new heights.
Foreman was invincible. He was the man Jack met at the top of the beanstalk.
Ali liked to stay up against the ropes and let the guy punch. I thought he was crazy.
In the second round, when he went to the rope-a-dope, George Plimpton hollering, "Oh my God, it's a fix."
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get off the ropes, get off the rope.
He knows he can beat this guy. And the guy's George Foreman.
While you're waiting for the first and exciting round, I have some advice for all of you this sound. When all is said, did, and done, George Foreman might fall in one.
I think that Muhammad, like Joe Frazier and all these guys at this stage, can only do what I let them do. And I'm not intending to let them do much.
In 1967, as conflict raged between America and Vietnam, world heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali was suspended from boxing for refusing to be drafted into the US Army. His absence from the ring saw Joe Frazier take his mantle, and when the two met in 1971, a unanimous decision in Frazier's favor left Ali at a crossroads. Meanwhile, George Foreman had risen from Olympic glory in 1968 to the top ranks of professional heavyweights. But his raw power and sheer physicality was underestimated by Frazier, who was knocked down 6 times in 2 rounds by Foreman. Muhammad Ali was watching closely.
George Foreman, who can't fight a lick, can't throw a left jab. Just, it's a terrible. Don't believe it? Go get the films. I'll go show them to you now.
But when Ken Norton, the only man at that time besides Frazier to defeat Ali, was demolished in 2 rounds, Foreman looked untouchable. Ali, though, thought otherwise. At that time, President Mobutu of Zaire was desperate for international visibility. And when he offered Foreman and Ali $5 million each, the fight was set for Kinshasa. And it was the challenger who quickly became the local favorite.
I was ready to go Ali, Ali, Ali. People here, everybody going crazy. I mean, all the Africans in the world was going crazy because it was Muhammad Ali.
Ali, Ali.
Because he could rhyme and people like him and he's talking about how pretty he was and all that. People like that stuff. They want to see it and they wanted to see him do it and they wanted to see him win the fight.
When I meet this man, if you think the world was surprised when Nixon resigned, wait till I whip Foreman's behind.
We used to spy on him. He was trained at our camp, actually. He was living across the road, nothing nice digs like we had. We had villas. He had a lousy place to live in. George, this guy likes people around him. He moved to Kinshasa and trained there.
Will you train for Ali differently than you did for Frazier or Ken Norton or any other people you've taken on?
No, this will be the same thing, same fight, same, just like any other fight.
That made rounds to be puffing. He'll be breathing. I'm a 78-round man. I'm used to going 12 rounds. I'm used to my thing dancing and sticking. He had 2 10-round fights and fell on his face because of paralysis. He's never been over 10 rounds. Round 13 will be like taking him to the moon. Round 14, round 15, he'll be dead.
This man has been talking since he started boxing. People have broke his jaw, knocked him out. One guy knocked his leg so far up in the air, I thought he was going to take off. And he got up and started talking.
My inch is 1.5 inches longer. I got to reach. I can hit him before I can hit him and he can hit me. If we jabbed at the same time and I landed, he'll stop short. And my fist is bigger than his fist. But they play it up like I'm fighting a big, bad brute. I'm bigger, basically, than George Foreman.
Ali called him the mummy. That's what he fought like. Slow, dragging his foot, trying to get you in the corner to throw one big punch.
He drags like that after his opponent. And how's a mummy gonna catch me?
And when Foreman was cut in training a week before the fight, the contest was postponed for 3 weeks.
When George Foreman got cut, what do you think the reaction was? Muhammad says, great, I'll get in better shape.
We had learned that Foreman wasn't running. And they said, come on, champ, come on, run. Yeah, I don't need to run. I'm gonna knock that big mouth so-and-so out. You know, he just knew he was gonna knock Ali out. So I got word to Ali. I said, he's not running. He said, yeah, well, we'll get him. You understand? So that's when it came up with rope-a-dope.
He could psychologically control a fight. He could analyze someone's style and how to beat him. And that's what he did with Foreman.
If you think I whoop Sonny Liston, you wait till I get George Foreman. He talks too much, he's ugly, he's pretending I'm the true champion, and they make me the underdog. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion.
Foreman wasn't like Liston. Liston was knocking out real people. And Foreman was knocking out pretty good fighters, but he had a hell of a bunch. He stood you up against the ropes, you're dead.
Foreman was the favorite. And even a lot of Ali's fans said he's biting too much off at this point.
So I've been 24 rounds with Norton and beat him to the draw faster, and Frazier. Where Foreman couldn't fight Frazier for 12 rounds and went on decision. See, I had to go distance with these cats and beat him to the draw. See, I'm much more faster than George.
Well, there's no way I'm gonna be able to stop him from talking. I'm not. I even saw him, his mouth was wide up and he was talking as fast as an average. So all I'm gonna be doing out there is trying to win the fight.
Nobody thought Foreman gonna lose. He was knocking him out as fast as he meet him.
The thought was not that he wouldn't win, but that he would get killed. Foreman was invincible. He was the man Jack met at the top of the beanstalk. There was no way he was going to win. We hoped he wouldn't be carried out, you know, with a sponge.
Nobody around gave us a shot.
Here we go, Ali quickly across the round.
First round went by.
Round one, Ali bouncing around, shifting left for right. George moves slow, Ali gets the first punch in.
In the second round, when he went to the rope-a-dope, George Plimpton hollering, "Oh my God, it's a fix." And he just stood there letting Foreman go down like a limp hose after you took the pressure and turned it off.
George Foreman backing Ali to the ropes. There's the vicious left hook to the body.
Even in camp, he would get hit a lot upside the head. So Boone Jean and I would tell him, Jim, why you keep getting hit upside the head? He said, I want to get accustomed to the punches.
He had actually analyzed Foreman and said, the best way to beat Foreman is not necessarily to stay away from him.
Ali liked to stay up against the ropes and let the guy punch. So Ali, don't you do that crazy thing.
You tell him, get off the ropes, get off the ropes.
I thought he was nuts because the ropes were loose.
He did something nobody expected him to do.
We didn't like that because he's getting hit so much.
Couldn't believe that. I said, what, George Foreman's punches don't hurt?
Foreman was, you know, he used to throwing him way back here and everything.
The shots he didn't hit my guy sapped him more than the shots he hit my guy.
Ali said, I can knock this guy out anytime I want.
Now, this was not as easy as it looked. Foreman could still punch like nobody's business.
For 6 or 7 rounds, he was telegraphing them. You know, you could see the telegraph, the punches coming slow and everything.
The punches to the body of Ali are not hurting him. They're not taking a toll.
It was remarkable what he did because I thought he was crazy to be on the ropes.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. And if you hit a heavy bag like that for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes, you're gonna get tired.
What happened? The George Foreman emptied his tank. There was no gas left, and that's what happened.
He's bouncing better. Almost falls out of the ring. Ali lifts that punch.
It's a credit to my guy, he was able to do all these things.
Another sneaky right hand. This time he worked over the shoulder of Foreman. It is stopped. Muhammad Ali, the dramatic 8th-round knockout.
It was barely believable. The giant figure of Foreman tasted defeat for the first time. Muhammad Ali was once again heavyweight champion of the world.
You wouldn't believe he could be beaten. It was just great to see him. It was thrilling.
He had to rely on something more than physical skill to win. And that's what ultimately decided him as the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time.
The old George Foreman would have given Muhammad a tougher fight. Steadier, instead of looking for the bombs, strictly, then that sapped him.
Ali, I understand, was urinating blood for some time after that fight. But he still had enough to make the whole thing work.
Foreman learned from that fight. Foreman changed completely because of that fight. It had an effect, as it did on everyone.
Yeah, how can you forget? The great man said he was the greatest. And in my opinion, at that time, he was the greatest.
People remember, or maybe it's just his name, whatever it is, I saw Muhammad Ali. He's that big and that important and that famous, but because he means something. He has endured because he is Muhammad Ali.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all times when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all times. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Then you might get me.